I've been running since I was in the school, and it's part of the help free your mind. Sometimes your ideas pop up while you run.
อาจารย์ Chadchart ค่ะ
สวัส
Thank
ดี
you
ครับ
so much for making time.
You're welcome, คุณนิกกี้ Yeah.
ค่ะ
My honor to be here. Yeah.
Mine to sit down with you as well.
Thank you.
ค่ะ So we'll get started. In your daily role as Bangkok governor, how do you decide what is important or what the key priorities are?
As a governor, you have any responsibilities, right? So you cannot tell that traffic jam is more important than education.
Right.
So I think the idea is that you have to delegate your work and give the objective for every department like education, healthcare, flush management, and then you follow the target.
Right.
So I think the priorities is not saying which subject is important than others. We have 10 million people, right? So you cannot say education is more important. But if you give the objective for each department and you follow up and see where the problem is, which one cannot reach the target, and that's a priority that you have to follow.
So every day, everything is important.
Yeah,
Everything is
exactly.
important. Do you ever wake up and look at your phone and go, oh, no, something's on today?
Yeah, it's good because that's what we need to know, the problem, because the governor role is to try to solve the problem of the citizen. Yeah. Because I met one kid, and then the parents try to ask the kid, the governor of Bangkok, you know what governor is?
Yeah.
And the kid doesn't understand, so I just told the kid that I'm your servant. So we have to
Serve the public.
Yeah.
Serve the public through your policies and different initiatives. And how do you make time for running? I understand that this is one of your biggest
I think running is part of the job,
part of the job.
You have to take care of yourself first, and then if you are healthy, you can take care of other people, your
Mental
team.
health, physical health.
And I think I've been running since I was in the school, so it's like a routine and it's part of the help free your mind. Running is on your own, so like a meditation. Sometimes your ideas pop up while you run.
What time do you usually run?
And depend, but like 4 in the morning. Usually, sometimes I run in the park, but now the park open at 4:30, so I change running from my home to office.
Yeah.
And I think we can see many problems along the way. If you run in Sukhumvit now, you see lots of homeless in Sukhumvit. So it's kind of signal that this problem is coming. Because usually homeless in the CBD, in like Rajadamneran Road, but now you see more homeless along Sukhumvit Road. So I think running is part of the exploring what's happening.
Exploring the city and actually seeing what's going on.
Yeah, to see on ground what's happening. So you talk to the street cleaner, you talk to the garbage collector, you talk to the street vendors, people who are commuting, and you get the feeling what is happening. Yeah.
So you get to really immerse in the community and actually talk to
important.
people who might not have access to you.
I think the key thing for governor is empathy.
Yes.
That's a quality that we need to have, and to understand, you feel how people feel. Sit on this room, this table, make decision. Sometimes you think as officers, but when you go down, you reach people. So sometimes it might take more time to solve the problem. Like we have the street vendor problem, right? So if we empathize with them, maybe it take longer time to solve because you need to find space for them to relocate. Think about their families too, But I think end up you get good results. Like you read the news, we just moved one Talat Lao in Klong Tei district.
Yes.
Yeah. That took a year to solve.
Well, how did what does that mean for the larger community? Can you talk a bit about the project?
Yeah, I think it used to be a pedestrian walkway about 300 meters.
Right.
And 20 years ago, I think it occupied by the like street vendor. So people cannot walk on that. And now we are serious about it. So a year ago, I think we initiated the program, talk to them, find another place for them, tell them why it's important that you need to give back the public space, And then end up at the beginning of this month, we successfully remove.
Wow.
And then we get the walkway back. But that's just one
Congratulations.
example. Yeah, thank you. But as I said, and it's been there, people surprised, They didn't know that it was a public space before, and people
Giving it back to the people.
Yeah.
What would you say surprises people when you talk about your role as Bangkok governor? Is there something about the job that surprises people?
I think people think that the governor has all the authority, because before I ran for the governor, I study the roles, but people thought, oh, why don't you solve the traffic jam problem, There are 17 authorities responsible for traffic in Bangkok, For me, on the pedestrian way, we can control street vendor, but on the street, belong to the police and other authority, like the bus controlled by the Ministry of Transport, right? Traffic light controlled by the policeman, and the public transport like taxi, tuk-tuk, controlled by the Department of Land Transport. So people might be surprised that even the governor, the one that you have full responsibility will be the garbage collection, and then like the water, the flooding. But other than that, like education, we responsible only for the primary schools mainly. Healthcare, we have only 13% of beds in Bangkok.
I think for a lot of people, it's easier to look from the outside and say, why don't you fix this? Why don't you do that? And you can't just snap your fingers.
No, and then it's controlled by the laws from the parliament. So you want to change. We submit some change, but it takes time because it goes through the parliament. But one thing that surprised me, before I became governor, I didn't think that the foreign affair would be important for governor's role, But once I became governor, I think it's very important. Because I think we are like a host to all people from around the world. Business, investment too. And that's important for the future of the city. So I end up, when I become a governor, I have a relationship with many ambassadors and embassy, talk to them, get the cooperation from them. And it's very helpful, Because I think each city, each country have their own strengths. So if we combine them together, learn from their experience, it really helps how to manage city.
Because at the end of the day, I think Bangkok is still the hub of the country. If we're looking at recently, we're talking about marriage equality. All the celebrations and events are happening in Bangkok as well. Are you preparing for that?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Definitely. I think it's a very...
I think in other countries, on the first day is a big day. For many countries.
Traffic's going to be bad.
Yeah. Should be fun. Congratulations for this event.
Definitely. Do you think that the younger generation of Thais living in Bangkok, do they care more about urban planning and parks and...
I think definitely. I think they see the benefits of it, Because this city is for them. It's not for us, It's for them in the future. So I think they need to like get involved and participate in this program too.
I think everyone likes it. It's good for everyone. And I saw that throughout this year, there's also been more walkable pavements in Bangkok. Could you share a little bit about that?
That's so important, because our policy, when we look at the city, it's like a human body, right? So we need to improve the quality of it. I think the smart city, the good city in the world, is not the one that have good train system, but it's the one that walkable, because it's improved life. And so right now we're improving about 1,000 kilometers of the footpath. And hopefully at the end of the term, maybe we can finish at least 2,000 kilometers of it. So you see lots of improvement,
we can walk and see trees and everything.
And I think the walking is also good for business, because it increases the business of the community. When you walk, you can shop in the shop house and then increase if you drive the car, you cannot buy anything.
Exactly,
so you can see that walking improves the neighborhood, the communities, and I think that's very important. So you see that we put lots of emphasis on this walkable city.
Okay, great, thank you. Could we talk a bit about PM management? Right now, I think at the week of the interview, it's bad timing for pollution, particles, and we're all checking our phones every day. Could you talk a little bit about what BMA has been doing this year and how you measure?
That's a serious matter for Bangkok. In fact, we have two seasons, flooding season and PM2.5 season,
You don't get a break.
When the flood ends, the PM2.5 comes. So we have to look at the reason first. What is the cause of this PM2.5, right? And we have a research team that look into the details. So I think there are three main factors. One is the automobile exhaust. We have a lot of diesel engine. So if normal time, we measure as a microgram per cubic meter. Right? So I mean, if normal time, the exhaust film about 30 microgram per cubic meter. But in the winter time, you have, we call it boundary layer, that its pressure come down. So it condense the PM2.5 that you already have. So number 2 is the weather condition. And another factor come in. Number 3 is the like a burning from crops. So 30 first from exhaust fume, another 30 from air compressed, the boundary layer, and the last 30 come from the burning. So these 3 make air condition worse. So right now, I think we have 2 factors, which is the automobile and the weather coming down. So you see about 50, 60 microgram per cubic meter. So I think the most important thing, we have to limit the source of the PM2.5, which Bangkok is an automobile. Right? So I think we have a program that, in fact, when you look at this, part of it is an economic problem.
Yeah.
Because the car that release the PM2.5 is more like older car. So I think we have a program. If you go change your oil and air filter, the companies, the private company will reduce the cost of it right now. So we have a program. We call it this car help reduce the PM2.5. Last year we have this program, and about 250,000 cars joined.
Right.
So this year hopefully we have 500,000 cars joined. The second one, we have another program, very ambitious one, that we're going to have a zone we call low emission zone, which is controlled by the inner ring road, Bitesize, Asok. And in this zone, when the time comes, like if you had red, which is a high PM2.5 in 5 districts.
The bad air.
Yeah, and then forecast another 2 days as bad. We're going to restrict that only the car that have been listed in the green list can enter this zone.
Wow, very ambitious program.
Yeah, and this car, I mean the truck, like 6 wheels and more. So if you want to come into this zone during the bad time, you need to register as a green list. To be in the green list, you have to be like EV car or Euro 5 up, or you have to change your oil and air filter.
Wow.
And with this, and we have CCTV, like 259 CCTV collecting information. If you enter this zone and you are not on the green list, you'll be fine. And some jail term possible, So with this measure, I think it will help people to be aware of the situation, and then they start changing the oil and the air filter. So it will help, even not the bad time, because they will changing the oil and air filter. So right now, we have more than 3,000 cars, trucks enlisted on the green list already. So I think that will be helpful. From the CCTV that we look at the data, there are about 10,000 trucks coming in this zone each day.
Each day? Wow.
Yeah, so right now we have more than 3,000 registered. So I think we accomplished something already.
That's great. When is the program going to be?
I think maybe in January. So we give them some time to be on the green list. Yeah. But it's no incentive people to do good things, to change their oil and air filters. So I think this one have more incentive than to do good thing, and then it helps even when the air is not that bad. Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah,
There's
I think
things
the
we can do.
PM2.5 is a difficult thing to handle because the source of PM2.5 come from people. So I think everyone has to help on this matter. Yeah.
True, it's about all of us.
And we have also a program called Work from Home.
Okay.
So if we issue the emergency condition, we hope that people will stay at home and work. I mean, last year we have about 60,000 people enlisted for the work from home scheme.
Okay.
Hopefully this year we get 200,000 people. Yeah, and that helps because this year on Valentine's Day, it's a bad day, so we issue the work from home recommendation, and the traffic reduced by 8%, I think.
Oh, that's significant for Bangkok.
Yeah.
Thank you. So now I'd like to move on to the environment.
Okay.
I'd like to talk a little bit about Bangkok's green policies.
Okay.
How important is clean air in running a city?
I think that's important because what's the key thing that city can survive in the future? I think when you look at the city, right, we are the labor market. Yes. We are in the city because we need work and job. And in the future, we need to compete for talents, to bring talents in. Right? Without talents, nobody will come and invest in Bangkok. So if we have poor, condition, not livable city, the environment is bad, we cannot attract good people, or even retain our people, right? And in the future, city cannot survive.
Yeah.
And I think you see example around the world. So I think this one will be important thing to improve the nature and the environment. So green will be important. The WHO recommend that we should have green space at least 9 square meter per person.
Right.
In Bangkok, difficult to count, Right now, maybe we have 7 square meter. But if we including unregistered people, maybe reduce to like 3.5 square meter. And if you counting the area that accessible, because sometimes you count the golf course that not accessible. So you have only maybe 0.9 square meter per person. So I think we have to improve on this green, putting more green space in Bangkok. So I think we are doing quite a few things. One is we have a program, we want to plant 1 million trees. When I ran for the governor, I have a policy of planting 1 million trees. And people are laughing at us. How are you going to plant 1 million trees, But I think we start day by day. You need to do it every day, planting trees.
Consistency.
And then we start every weekend, we go out and planting trees. And then we get collaboration from private sector, They come. And now 2.5 years, we planted already 1.2 million trees already.
I think honestly, from a very basic point of view, I've noticed myself.
Oh, really?
Bangkok has gotten very green.
Thank you.
A lot more trees.
And I think we plant some simple tree, like we call it Thong Urai. Thong Urai is a very good tree because they have a yellow flowers all years around.
That's great.
And we plant many of these along the street. And then we see the results. And I think the good thing is when people see our commitment that we're really serious about it, they join us, Even embassies, as I said, our embassies join in private sector. So now we update our target to be 2 million trees in our term. And you can check it. We have an application that you can register your trees.
Okay.
So it's not just, we call it ปลูกทิพย์ or imaginary tree. It's real tree that is really planted, Another thing is we improve big park. You see, we have quite many parks, maybe like 13 big parks in Bangkok.
In Bangkok.
Yeah, but that's not enough because many people have not the luxury to come to big park every day. So we think of small parks in the neighborhood.
It's just a 15-minute park.
Yeah. That people can walk, elderly can come and join. So hopefully within next year we're gonna complete good 357 these small parks,
That's great.
And this really changed the way people live. I mean, I saw the communities near my house, like Khong San Sap area. It's a community that never see the green area, but there's some space where we put some tree. People enjoy
It makes a difference,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It makes a difference. Could you share some milestones or significant projects that you've done this year or in the past couple of years that tackle waste management?
The waste management is very important and it's our sole responsibility. There's not many issues that BMA has full responsibility. So we usually, before the COVID time, we have the garbage about 10,000 tons per day. And 50% of them are like organic waste, food waste. And when come together, it make the garbage not very recyclable. You put the food waste together with the normal waste.
Everything together.
Everything together and smelly, water dripping everywhere, And then I think we start the program to try to separate the food waste. But in the first 2 years, we became governor. We focus more on the big corporate,
Right.
like in the department store or big garbage producers. So we encourage them to separate the waste. And I think within these 2 years, we see the the amount of garbage reduced by 10%. So right now it's about 9,000 tons per year. So that's per day. So that's a significant improvement. And then it helped reduce the cost of the garbage handling, like 300 million baht per year. But now we're going to expand this program to households.
Okay.
Because we try to encourage them to separate the food waste or compost. And if you don't separate, you'll be charged 3 times more. Usually we charge them 20 baht per month, not very much, But if you don't separate the compost or food waste, you're going to charge 60 baht per month. And then for the big corporate, we just increase the fee like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
Within 7 months, I think, maybe in next year, June, July, we're going to start implementing this. And from our side, we have to prepare too, because people always complain that, oh, I separate the garbage, but BMA put it together in the truck, They always say that. So we have to prove that we have a commitment on our side too, And it's a serious matter. We spend about 7 billion Thai baht per year on garbage handling.
Really?
And 50% go to landfill,
Wow.
And we spend maybe 5 billion baht on healthcare. We spend 7 billion baht on garbage, but 5 billion on healthcare. If we can save that 7 billion, we can use this budget for other things, education, healthcare, and many other things. It should be 0 baht, because,
It should be.
yeah, because garbage is
It's a thing that affects everyone, and
Yeah.
everyone needs to help,
and
right?
it has value.
Yes.
In fact, it should be 0 garbage, and everything recycle, reuse, but should be minimal go to the landfill. So together, I think we can improve.
Definitely.
This
And I
situation.
think people also need to stop throwing away furniture.
Yeah, because the garbage, it's in Bangkok, it's like magic, you put the garbage at night and then morning disappears. But it has to go somewhere.
But I never think about where it goes.
Yeah. And it has to be created by someone.
True.
It's not like a natural thing,
Yeah.
So if have a self-conscious before you buy, think is it necessary, is it too much, and where it's gonna go,
Yeah. Is this something you've adopted in your own lifestyle as well?
Yeah. So eat everything, don't leave things on the plate.
No food
No
waste.
food waste,
No
yeah.
food waste. How can people then, from a household level, do more apart from separating their waste to be more mindful?
Yeah, I think recycle, reuse, think about where it goes before you buy anything. Think about, is it good thing to buy, where it goes, you really need it or not. So I think if it's in our DNA, I think it can help reduce it. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you. I'd like to now move on to flood management.
Another important thing.
Another important,
PM 2.5
too many
and flood.
important things.
Yeah.
I think we've just come off quite a long and heavy rainy season.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for incoming floods every year?
Okay. I think flooding is a scientific thing, So the water come and we have to bring it out. In Bangkok, most of the water has to be drained through Chao Phraya River.
Right.
So there are, in fact, 3 sources of water. One is water from the north. You see from like Chao Phraya River in the north. And then the second one would be the sea water that's rising, high tide, low tide, And the third one would be rainfall in Bangkok. So I think the serious one would be, for the Chao Phraya River, I think we quite well prepared because we have like flood protection along Chao Phraya River. Right now, we fixed nearly all the problem. So I think that one we quite well handle. For the problem that we have now is rainfall in Bangkok. So we have to like bring every drop of rain through Chao Phraya River, somehow. The problem that we have is that sometimes we focus too much on the arterial or mega project, like we call it like tunnel, flooding tunnel, But we forgot to drain the drainage along your house, We have about small. We have about 6,000 kilometers of water drainage. And then when we first I became governor, I start like cleaning all the drainage, And it takes time, but it really helps. So once you start cleaning this, the water can go quickly. And now we fixed nearly half of them, and then the rest is ongoing project. So you see lots of improvement in this. But I think another character that changed during the last few years would be the rain bomb. Usually we measure the rain by the quality, the amount of the rain, like 60 millimeter per hour. It's normal that we use for designing the drainage in Bangkok. But now you see 100 millimeter very often in certain locations. So I think we need to improve the mobility capacity of the drainage system. So we have mobile pump that if the rain come heavily in this area, we have a mobility capacity to move in and help drain the water out. So I think this happens around the world because of the climate change. So you see the rain bomb, heavy rain in certain spots. We cannot provide drainage capacity for every location. So we need to improve our mobility that we can go and help the problem spots.
Because with global warming and climate patterns becoming more severe, we can expect that we'll see more of this every year.
So now we start cleaning, putting water pump for next year.
For next year.
So it's a year-round thing, not only when the flooding comes, So we have to prepare. So I think the priority that we have to focus every day.
Every day. Thank you so much, Ka.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So that's all.
That's all, Ka.